to applaud the concept of this plan. Oh, I'm sorry. My name is Gladys Handlin. I'm the Executive Director of Mission Neighborhood Health Center. I'd like to applaud the concept and the work that's going behind to do this. I know there's a long work to be done yet. I realize what it is when you're developing programs. My concern is that I don't see enough health care providers' involvement in this plan. I was not involved. In the budget, I only see $23,000 for a nurse at some place, but I don't know where. I'm sorry, I just picked this up before coming here, so I didn't get to evaluate it well. But I usually glance at anything to see where the health part component is in there. And the goal is states that we're going to be work health in a little perinatal program, but for children's services, is there any coordination with the healthcare providers of all the communities in San Francisco? I think that's my major concern. And I'll be writing a letter with more details later on.
So your concern is more or less the healthcare involvement?
Correct.
Okay.
Thanks.
Next, please.
Good evening, members of the board and President Aliotto. We've been in America for 200 years. We still haven't straightened it out. Gregory Richardson. I'm with the Wanjumbi Cultural Institution. I'm proud to see the mayor's office work more diligently with youth and their families and children. It's long overdue in the city and county of San Francisco, and I support there than ever. Let me by saying this. I work with the Wanjumbi Cultural Institution, which deals with art and culture. As we all know, art and culture is a very big, important part of all walks of life. What I'd like to say also, it brings a bond between city and also the people. I remember back in 1964, when I was in San Francisco, we had many programs such of this sort, with collaborations with each neighborhoods that was very important with economic development and growth. I would also like to state that we are collaborating with the Department of Health, with Social Services, with the Unified School District, and with our community and our friends. I believe this program is very good for the city and county of San Francisco, and also for our youth and our families, which you see out in front of us today. I would strongly support this program because I believe in it so much. I'm looking forward to working with the mayor's office of youth, children, and their families to make a better way for my family, to make a better way for my neighbors, and to make a better way for my friends. I believe this program gives us the liberty of liberation to a license of learning legality the right ways. And I also want to state the fact that it does give us a chance, as you see. It has brought these people in these chambers together, which doesn't happen very much. So I support your program, Mr. Lincoln's office, and I thank the supervisors. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. What time is it? Yeah, afternoon. I was here yesterday and I'm here again today. But I'm thinking about some basic issues that need to be brought up. We can form all kind of programs for our people, but come out from under this racist power structure. And I don't believe that this kind of program can work for our people unless our people are allowed to be our people. We are punished for everything that we do, and we're getting tired. And the people who are young children, we don't have a chance in this kind of society where Eurocentric is accepted and the Afrocentric is rejected. We are rejected in the schools. We're rejected in the courthouse. I could see the police, how they reject each other. One is white and one is black, and they reject each other under those circumstances. And it's a totally chaotic situation there. In the schoolhouse, they don't want to be, my people don't want to be black people no more. That bothers me. They don't want to have the big noses and the big lips no more. That's Afrocentric. Noses, we're changing our lips. We're trying to be something we are not. And we're trying to fit into something we don't fit into. And it's causing a great chaotic situation with our people. We're ending up in jails. We end up in institutes. And we're not getting education because we don't fit in. We don't fit into the curriculum which the Eurocentric society has designed for us. And if we don't act Eurocentric, we're not going to be accepted. If we bleach our color of our skin, well, we might be accepted a little bit better decently than we would if we were Juju black. But I'm saying that our culture is not based upon accepting the African American. And our culture is not based upon helping the African American improve themselves to be as a Eurocentric. It's a division there. And that division should be stopped if this people, our people, is to do anything about progress in America. So I'm hoping that you can do something toward the progress of our people, since you are the leaders. And I graduated from San Francisco State University. I know what I'm talking about. They didn't want no black woman in the class, and I was the only black woman there. But you see, I stood my ground. I got my degree, and I'm heading on whatever height it is. And I'm looking forward to getting on the Board of Commission of the Housing, because I want to be there. I want to help lead my people to a better way. I don't want my people to be in a position where they're grounded to the projects. They're closed out on the Section 8 programs. Other nationalities are allowed to have houses, and et cetera. But what I'm saying is that my people don't have a chance under this racist power structure. We are criticized, we're brutalized, and the next thing you know, we're dying behind it. So we got to do something as the leaders, the ones who are Eurocentric leaders. You may not understand the Afrocentric quality and character, but we come a long ways in America, and we still got a long ways to go. But what I'm saying is that we need you. We need you to help us, and we cannot help ourselves unless you help us to do it.
All right. You know, a lot of times when we applaud, we take up time from somebody else, and I know everybody's interested in all doing it.
Excuse me, I got a little carried away. But my name is, she said I didn't give my name. My name is Laboria Moore, and I hope you would elect me as one of the leading officials on the housing commissioners to help get my people in line.
Okay, Abora.
My name is Larry Ukali Johnson Red, and I'm the Executive Director of the OMI Pilgrim Community Center. First thing I would like to do is congratulate all these beautiful young people for being here. Give yourself. It's beautiful to see young people from Hunters Point, Sunnydale, OMI, all here together, all here to make a statement that we support the Children's Service Plan proposed by the Mayor's Office of Children, Youth, and their families, because it gives us the flexibility to propose the kind of programs we know we need. Nobody can come out to OMI and tell us what we need. We know what we need. And it's the same way in the Bayview and in Sunnydale and in every other black community. We know what we need. We don't need bureaucrats to tell us what we need. We need to have that flexibility so we can put together distinct programs. And I'll give you some examples. 5 or 6 years ago in the OMI, we started our OMI tutorial self-esteem and homework program. Right now, we have literally hundreds of kids coming through that program, receiving services, but no bureaucrats told us that you need a tutorial program. We designed that program ourselves. We designed the program ourselves, we're operating the program ourselves, we're running the program ourselves, we're recruiting for the program ourselves. And this is the kind of community empowerment that we seek, the kind of empowerment where it says, we trust the community to know what it needs. We trust the community's leaders and the community's organizations to know what they want and how they want it and which way they want it. That is why we're here. We're all here to support the Children's Services Plan 1994-95, and we're asking you as supervisors to approve that plan, with the flexibility that gives the community a chance to have the kind of input that it needs. The advocates don't know what we need. The advocates don't live in our community. Most of the advocates live out of town, and especially the one, Margaret Brodkin. She doesn't live in this city. She doesn't know what we need. And she told me for too long, She has spoken for us. That's why we're here to speak for ourselves. And what you're going to do, what you're going to hear today is young people and older people speaking for our own communities, because too long have others spoken for us. It's now time for us to come out the closet and speak for ourselves. And we're fortunate to have a young man in the office of the Mayor's Office of Children, Youth, and Families, whom we all adore and respect, Anthony Lincoln. Anthony Lincoln, we can see him in Sunnydale. We can see him in OMI. We can see him in Hunters Point when we want to. And we've never had a city official to be so responsive and so ready to come out to our communities. So he has helped us. We were here to help him, and we want to see that this plan gets approved right away so that we can start having some RFPs and so we can start implementing some of the things that we need. Because in all of our communities, we need more jobs, we need more education, we need more children's programs, and we need more services. Thank you.
Okay, next, please.
My name is Peter Bull. I'm speaking for Coleman Advocates for Children and Youth. I'm a board member of the Coleman organization. As you know, Coleman was the sponsor of Proposition J, and we are joining with everyone else here in expressing our excitement about the progress that has been made and a number of tremendously good programs that have been funded and are being funded by the mayor's office under this initiative. However, we have concerns, not concerns with the grants which are being made or concerns with the substance of what is being done, but we have very serious concerns with the process itself and what we see as a lack of accountability in this process. The Children's Services Plan, which has been presented to you, is of all the three plans which have been made so far in the first 3 years, the vaguest one so far. The justification, I take it, is that decisions will be made at the community level. But since the city charter does not require the Board of Supervisors to approve this plan, but only that the plan be presented to the board and be the subject of a public hearing, which we're now having, we're recommending that it not be approved at this time. The reason is because that will, I want to be sure I'm understood on this, that will not result in any kind of a delay in these funds moving to the community or a delay in the budget process. That is simply to say that when a plan is presented which is as vague as this plan is, and which has items in it of over $1 million apiece with no breakdown whatsoever, and which lacks any evaluation component, either an evaluation of the process of the Mayor's Office of Children, Youth, and Families itself, or any means for evaluating the grantees, that when a plan of that kind is presented, particularly to the Finance Committee of this board, I don't think the Finance Committee should approve it, unless it's a matter of some emergency in moving the funds or something of that kind. What we're recommending then is that there not be an approval of the plan at this time, and incidentally, several city commissions, when it was presented to them, reached the same conclusion back in December, but rather that a closer look be taken later in the budget process to see actually what kind of programs emerge from the process. It is simply too early for you to approve a plan because you don't know and you have no way of telling what kinds of programs are going to be funded other than the broad age categories that are built in, and no way of telling, in fact, the community itself has no way of telling what the criteria would be when they submit proposals for this plan. I think that's basically our position. I do want to stress that we're excited about what's happening. There's nothing wrong with this plan except that it simply does not go far enough in the line of financial accountability for it to be approved at this time.
Next, please. Just one moment, sir. Mr. Bull.
Through the chair.
Mr.
Through the
Bull,
chair.
I think there's a question.
Through the chair, I just want to make sure I responded to this individual's testimony. I think your comments are well taken. My committee did receive the letter from you, dated February 2nd, 1994. I have forwarded this letter to all my colleagues at the committee, and we will discuss some of the concerns you have expressed. I hope you will be around here when we have this discussion upon the completion of the public testimony, because some of the concerns may require your comment at that time.
Well, thank you, Supervisor. I
If
will
you can
be.
do that, I appreciate it.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Madam Chair.
Next, please.
Good afternoon, Supervisors. My name is Larry Chu. I am the Executive Director of the Ocean View Merced Ingleside Community Association, and I'm glad to see you all here today regarding this matter. Although I'm very troubled when I hear supervisors talk about various special interest groups and their concern about those special interest groups. But in fact, our organization, organizations alike who are supporting the 1994-1995 Children's Services Plan have faxed you letters. And if you don't have copies of those fax letters, we can provide you with copies of those letters. I have yet to hear anybody reference those letters here today. Any of you on this board talk about the letters that came from this community of folk. And we're talking about from various neighborhoods where the media has played up turf issues, but today there's no turf issue here. Where's the media at? I don't see them here today, all right? I see Channel 54 here, and that's great, all right? But I don't see them here today talking about the unity that we have in the room here. You see people around here with black armbands from different communities here. That means we're here unified as one today. You see me with a black armband, a band rather around my neck, and I'm taking it off right now because the problem is this is the way people feel. They feel like people have nooses around their necks. Okay? And we come here to talk about developing our community. I don't hear one supervisor up here, with the exception of Supervisor Kennedy. I know she's taking interest on this. The fact that you have concentration camps set up in the housing projects. No one's talking about the fact that our academic sport pros cannot get into the housing projects in Alice Griffin unless they have police surveillance on them, but PG&E, telephone company, Viacom can go in there freely, nobody says anything. I don't understand that. And for you all to sit here and not understand that, something is wrong with that. I know some of you people are ambitious. Some of you want to be mayor. Some of you want to be supervisor again. We have a voting constituency sitting right here, right now. We are going to register them to vote and more people to vote, and we're going to come back down here. Now, there are other city departments in here. There are other city departments in here. I'm not calling any names out, but we put them on notice because we'll be back. This is not the end of it. This is the very beginning of this process.
Next, please.
My name is Shirley Jones, and I can't believe some of the things I'm hearing today. I just cannot believe that you all are sitting here interested in Colburn Advocate and what their problems are. I just can't believe that. I think that I was a part of the Prop J legislation that was put on the ballot. I'm very much in favor of Prop J, because if I wasn't, I would not have signed the petition and participated in. But I think also one of the things that is missing today is that Colburn Advocate do not speak for black peoples. And I think we better understand that in this room today, because I think we're losing the whole trend of what Prop J money was all about. And I think we need to look at what it was for and who it was to serve. And I think that one of the problems that I have several problems, but that wasn't even what I got up here to say, but it's just kind of sort of sidetracked me, and it's really bothering me right today. I object to the high percent of funding that is going to city agencies. More fund should go directly to the community for children's services. If the city agencies was doing their jobs correctly, we wouldn't have to have a Prop J. Another thing I think we need to understand too is that the RFP process that is used in Tony's office, they do not allow us enough time really to come in and do a real good RFP. The RFPs like put out, for example, the 1st of March, and it's due back by April 1st. When we're talking about a collaborative, we're talking about a group of peoples getting together, such as myself. I am also the executive director of COVERT, which is the lead agency for 12 agencies that we had to get together and decide how to do this collaborative. Matter of fact, the charts that Tony showed today represent the Bayview, Hunters Point, Sunnydale Collaborative. It can work. When people want to give services, there's no such thing as turf. In Bayview, Hunters Point, and Sunnydale, Alice Griffin, the Hill, the Oakdale Mob, and I can name them to you, honey, today. I want you to understand that when it comes to giving service to children, and I'm not talking about black children, Hispanic children, or no other ethnic children. I'm talking about children as a whole. I think that you need to remember that's what this Prop J money was created for. We also support the children's plan. We participated in the process. There's some little flaws in it, and we have some concerns, but we feel that it can be worked out. We were also concerned about the evaluation process. We wanted to know how was that going to work. Tony assured us that when it was time, we suggested that when the evaluation process started, that he also used some people from the community to be a part of the selecting the group or groups or whatever to be a part of the evaluation, and Tony Lincoln agreed on that. I think this is a new department. I know my time's running out, but I think that this is a new department. I don't think we need to be so apt to jump on it because we got other departments within this city like redevelopment, you know, like the school department, and a lot of other city departments that we need to be looking at much closely. $1 million as far as running this department at $13 million, I think once the breakdown is done, that you'll find out that it's not that much money that's going into salary. Because let me tell you, the money that we receive as directors in running these programs is a disgrace.
Good afternoon, supervisors, especially you, Supervisor Kennedy.
You give your name?
I'm just going to do that, ma'am. My name is Anthony 3X, and I'm the coordinator for the Mayor's Academic Sports Program, which I strongly, the Mayor's Academic Sports Program. I'm sorry if my clarity is kind of off, but I just had my tooth pulled last week. And I strongly recommend Tony Lincoln's plan in this program. Let me give you a little background on what he's given me the opportunity to do from funding this program. He's given me the opportunity to go into 8 different neighborhoods throughout the city. For instance, a neighborhood like Gilman, which is called Double Rock, the original Double Rock, which has no services. You know that yourself, Ms. Kennedy. You was just out there, right? This community, this mass of black people has no services. The children haven't had any services. The only service that they have is the academic sports pro, which come out there. But since the police department and you city government officials have determined to lock Double Rock down as a concentration camp, I can't even get my staff in there to service the children that we're trying to provide services for because they're being harassed by the police. Okay? And also, we monitor children in school. in their academic performance, and I'm here to tell you that the school system has failed the black man and woman in school. There needs to be a Afrocentric education base for our children, because as it is presently now, it doesn't even make sense for them to go to school. It would be better for them to stay at home and do nothing, because that's what they do at school, is nothing all day. All right? So I strongly support the plan, and for Coleman advocates to try to speak for the black family and the black community, that's totally wrong, because we're not trying to speak for them. And Coleman advocates or anyone else would no longer speak for the black community. The black community will speak for themselves. Thank you.
My name is Cynthia Carter. I am a tenant and previous president of the Tenants Association of Sunnydale. I am really irked that this man from Coleman Avenue could come up. I support your children's plan, by the way, Tony Lincoln. And, oh my God, these people they came out and had a lot of African Americans. I mean, our hopes were built that some of us would get jobs down here at Costco. Coleman advocates. Not one person got hired. Not one person. They hired a whole bunch of Caucasians. Anybody? Come on now. You're going to consider this letter Coleman Advocates wrote to you? I suggest you tear it up and throw it away. I'm really, but we do support Tony Lincoln's children's plan. Another thing, they're sitting up here trying to, they did Double Rock already, barricaded the street off. They want to come over to Sunnydale and do it. And no, we're not going to have it. We are not going to have it. Housing's paying the police department $1 million to come over and beat up Afro-Americans. I know I was a victim. Okay, December the 11th last year, I had a female officer come up to me and follow me and told me she would follow me and harass me every day. Okay? And they took me to jail. I have no record. I have no record. I have never been in jail. They took me to jail and said I was on drugs. I have never been on drugs. I begged them to take a drug test, which they didn't do. I begged them to take a drug test. Of course, 3 weeks later, they sent me something in the mail, and I have it right here in my purse. I carry it around with me every day. I don't need to go to court. They're paying, housing is paying the police department $1 million to beat up on Afro-Americans. And Coleman advocates. People, if had Tony Lincoln had been a white man, would you be questioning him about the funds?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Would you?
No, not at all. No.
Hi, my name is Maddy Renee Muldrow, and I am the Director Administrator of Bobby's Love and Care Home. And though I was not prepared to speak today, I certainly can. We run 2 group homes presently and are about to open a 3rd in the Visitation Valley section here in San Francisco. I think it has become real evident to everyone that society will in fact lock up African American boys and girls, and they are boys and girls. But locking them up doesn't seem to be helping. We're going to get, 10 new prisons here in California. YA is going to be expanded. Maybe if we took perhaps a percentage of the money used to incarcerate these young men and young women and educate them and show them a better choice. the majority of the clients that we get in our group homes are through probation, so I'm talking about something that I know about. I work very closely with Bobby Johnson, Mark Mardall, Dennis Sweeney in San Francisco probation. Know them very well. And you can certainly check with them and ask about our credentials for our program. But again, locking these young people up is